Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And how is everyone doing? Let me know how you guys are doing down in the comments below. The market has been pretty stable for the most part. I mean, listen, like the July-August timeframe of the market is usually always sort of boring. I mean, going back to 2020, there was some nice movements in the summer. It was DeFi summer, but for the most part, it's usually a boring time in the market, and then we see the big moves being made after the fact, which I did mention a little bit around this. But today we are going to be addressing Ripple and XRP. There's going to be a few things to really kind of talk about and discuss, but as we look at XRP today, it is still sitting around 62 cents. And like I said, if we continue to hold the 62-cent zone, that is going to be very bullish because that is a significant area of support. It's an area of support that we've held on to in the past. Specifically, January of 2022, we held on to it until around roughly May of 2022 before the market just completely crash. So as we do look at XRP right now, it has been holding on to the 62-cent zone. Let's see if it continues to hold on to that this week. I know that there's a few big events around the financial space that are coming out this week, so we need to really kind of be a little bit more patient here and don't just blindly invest into every single support zone. So we need to average in, make sure that we are aware of the risk as well, and just be a little bit more patient. But nonetheless, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit more about what's happening on the macro side of things. And shout out to Riz XRP for this video. And he posted this, and this is Caroline Bowler. Australia looks very closely at the UK for regulations. And it seems as though this is a growing trend. Almost everyone is looking into what the United Kingdom is doing. And from my video yesterday, talking to you guys a little bit about Ripple and XRP, especially within the UK, I'm heavily focused on what's happening in the UK right now. And we do see London's ready XRP. Check this out.
What's happened with the SEC, right? And a US judge finding that XRP is not a security when it came to mass retail, but when it was sold to institutional participants, it was considered a security. So these nuances coming out of the US, do they have influence on jurisdictions like Australia? When you take a look at that, does that have a precedent-setting impact? How do you, as industry leader, and how does Australia, from a legal perspective, view a ruling like that?
I think it's influential in the sense that, of course, what the SEC does is influential around the world. And you would, any regulator or legislator is going to look at what they do and take it into consideration. But their decision that XRP is not a security, I think, mirrors what we saw out of Japan years ago, where they said it wasn't a security. And certainly here in Australia, it didn't match up with the local tests around what a security was for XRP. You can't retrofit a lot of what we saw in traditional finance into crypto because of the fact that this is so new, and there is then that opportunity for nuance, which nobody really wants, like, apart from lawyers perhaps, but certainly anybody who's running a business doesn't want there to be any legal nuance. You want that clarity. For me, certainly sitting here in Australia, I look at what the UK is doing very closely. Australia looks very closely at the UK anyway. There's obviously the historical connections between the two countries, but from what I can understand, there is a lot of a very close relations between the two from a government and regulatory point of view. But I also think with the UK, they've got a history of taking on opportunities in financial services and really making something of it. With certainly the Big Bang and et cetera, et cetera. And so there is a lot of very, very smart people in the UK, in and around London, in the financial services, who are absolutely working on what will be probably the next big thing. Even though they're sitting outside of Europe now, I still think that their impact will be felt across the European Union and certainly across into the US and hopefully here to Australia.
So there you guys have it. And again, like, as we really kind of look at XRP, we know that this is basically the only asset in this space for at least the next 2 years that will have regulatory clarity. And I think that it's good to mention that now, because as we look at the UK, they have been gearing up, especially around becoming a crypto hub for so long. And I continue to share with you guys the connections back to Ripple. This was the one that I mentioned in the video from yesterday, where I was talking about how it all starts in London. And it seems as though London is fully ready now. They are embracing this type of technology. They want to, become a crypto hub, specifically the UK. And, I do think that's really kind of starting there. And I think that, from there, we will see a major blossom effect around, crypto regulations, crypto adoption, acceptance. We know crypto regulations globally are going to be in place by the end of 2025. Ultimately speaking, in the next 2 years, this space is going to be absolutely incredible from a utility perspective, because I do think that that's when the utility will be very valuable. I continue to see a lot of the comments talking about like XRP is still at 50 cents, XRP is still at 60 cents. I'm not buying XRP, it's a scam. It's like, listen, if you think that, then don't invest in it. Don't touch it. Don't watch YouTube videos on XRP. Go and watch YouTube videos on Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, coin you like. As we look at XRP, it really just takes about 5 minutes to do research and understand the value behind it, and also all of the major connections. It's truly like eye-opening, and it's mind-blowing to understand. All of this has been happening for the last couple of years. Ripple has been taking well over a decade to connect with the global leaders around payments. In my opinion, Ripple is set up to have an incredible amount of, banks tied to their network. And we know XRP is the perfect bridge currency and payment token for that specific use case, to bridge all of those tokens, bridge the world of finance, and ultimately usher in the internet of value. And that demands a lot of those tokens in terms of XRP, which means, guess what? A high price XRP is most likely the most certain thing to expect in the coming years. Now, of course, as we do look at, Ripple and the UK, remember, Ripple was going to London back in November for the Swell conference. I did break this down as well. There was a significant amount of things that they discussed back in November. This was at the London Swell event, of course. A lot of great individuals were there. They were talking about CBDCs. They were talking about tokenization. They were even talking about, interoperability of payment tokens and things like that. Like, there's a lot of things to really kind of look at. And again, the Crypto Means Business campaign was rampant in London. And then also, just recently, I talked a little bit about this as well. Ripple sets its sights on London for crypto growth. Susan Friedman highlights potential hub for digital currencies, which is, again, another huge thing to look at. Is like, if there is going to be these crypto hubs and the UK is first, do you honestly think that any of these other nations are going to let that happen? No, they're going to also race for it. It's going to be, who's first? Okay, who's second? Okay, who's third? We are seeing a technological race happening around crypto and digital assets. And I think that that is also something to really kind of mention. And also, like, as everyone looks at CBDCs, I also remember that there's a lot of talk about, oh, if you support XRP, then you support CBDCs, enjoy being enslaved by CBDCs. It's kind of comical that people still think that, we're not controlled by currency today. Listen, there's people's bank accounts getting shut down because of their political viewpoints. And they're trying to silence people through their bank accounts and through money. But okay, yeah, sure, CBDCs are going to be the thing that controls us. We already are controlled by currency. It's just that with CBDCs, privacy becomes a big problem. But if we do have these third parties like Ripple that are private companies tied to it, they could very well benefit the retail sector by enhancing privacy technology around CBDCs. Again, that's the hopefulness around this, at least. But also over here from Ripple, we recently seen them expand a little bit. They announced a new leader around the payment sector that is utilizing Ripple technology. This is Get Instagram. So we do see speed is one of the strengths that Ripple brings to the table. This is the head of Instagram. And they are leveraging their payment solution to reduce transaction times by 50% for their global SME customers. And this is the overall page here. So Instagram is leveraging Ripple payments to streamline internal treasury operations for Instagram and their global SME customers. And we do see the goal, reduce frictions associated with treasury management to increase working capital and streamline operations. the solution. InstaRem, the payments arm of Neum, which is another partner of Ripple, began leveraging Ripple payments in 2018 to reduce friction in cross-border transactions for the remittance customers. Now, InstaRem is building on their partnership with Ripple to streamline treasury operations internally and for their SME customers. And this is huge, right? Like, remember what I say. A lot of the partners of Ripple will have domino effects where they come over to Ripple and they utilize them for, we'll just say, treasury management. Okay, and then from there, they're going to utilize cross-border payments and they're going to utilize them for like the liquidity hub. Like, it's going to be a constant expansion from all of the partnerships that Ripple does have. And I think that should be very exciting to see what happens with that in the coming years, because as more and more regulations come to this space, more and more adoption and acceptance of this technology will really kind of happen. And I do think that it's going to be very interesting to see how a lot of these companies embrace this technology and utilize it, especially at scale. Scale is the big thing, right? Because like we already know that a lot of this technology is being utilized, just not at scale. And down here, we do see a few of these statistics around InstaRem. So 100 million in working capital access with Ripple payments. 2 weeks to onboard with Ripple, 50% reduction in transaction time. And our customers are across 40 different geographies and all parts of the world where we serve. So being 24/7 is almost expected. Ripple fits very nicely with that whole notion. And speed is one of the strengths that Ripple brings to the table. Real-time settlement and 24/7, 365 availability with Ripple's global payment or payout network, which represents more than 90% of the global FX market. InstaRem and their SME customers can dramatically reduce the operational overhead associated with treasury management, like cash pooling or deciding between wire transfer versus direct deposit. Capital can be moved between bank accounts 24/7, 365 with real-time settlement. And also, I do really think that everyone should pay attention to this statistic right here. 90% of the global FX market. That's the global Forex market, foreign exchange market. That is a $7 trillion per day market. Very significant. And again, like this is one of many case studies. We know that Ripple continues to expand every single day. And I think that should be noted, right? Everyone continues to say Ripple's not XRP, XRP is not Ripple. No, it's not. But their business model is literally built within crypto and crypto adoption. And even the cross-border payment solution leverages and utilizes XRP. And even the treasury management service also utilizes XRP as well. XRP is vital for a lot of their solutions. And then also over here, from InstaRem's website, Money Simple. InstaRem is on a mission to make money simple for everyone. We offer a smarter, faster, and more affordable way to move money across borders, a way without unfair exchange rates, hidden fees, or other complexities. How are they doing that? With, of course, Ripple technology, leveraging XRP. 1 million plus customers, 60 plus locations supported, and $3 billion moved per year. I know that this isn't a massive company, but I want you guys to understand that this is one of many companies leveraging their solutions. And I do think that it should be significant to mention that at some point in time, when all of these companies and all of their clients are utilizing their solutions, especially with XRP, which a lot of people say, like, why would they utilize XRP? It's because of the efficiencies. 30% more savings, faster transaction settlement times. The liquidity is also a key obstacle that a lot of these companies are facing. So with XRP's on-demand liquidity, that's a crucial stepping stone for them as well. And then, of course, the bridge currency, right? Bridging is a huge thing, especially in a tokenized society. And I do think that we are gearing up to get to that tokenized society. It's going to take some time. But all of these companies want to get ahead of the game before things really kind of start to ramp up. And with everything that we are starting to see, especially around the UK, it seems as though the race is on. The UK is ready. London is ready, essentially. But the UK, in my opinion, as a whole, is ready. We already know that with the XinFin, aka XDC, the UK was the first ones to really kind of pass a lot of the standardization around digital trade finance. So it seems as though the UK is where all of this is starting. So if you're not focused on the UK, at this point, you should 100% do so because there is a lot of news and a lot of significant updates coming out of the UK. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join for Discord in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.